Hey guys, welcome to the channel. You're watching the Art Occultist and I'm your host Elisa. I'm so happy to have you here. I hope that everything's alright with you wherever you are in the world. And today I want to talk about something fun with you. We are starting a new video series here on the channel. And basically this video series is going to be all about reviewing decks from my collection and sharing my experiences and opinions with certain tools that I own. I think that the name of this video series is going to be Deck Diaries or something like this. But yeah, this is what we are doing and I'm very excited to start this video series. I've been contemplating this series for a while now because I just finished my last collection video, deck collection video. It's number 6. And basically, I've already shown you all of the decks that I own. During this collection series, I spoke about some of the decks while I was showcasing them for the collection, but I decided that I wanted to go even deeper and do a deck diaries type of series where I discuss one deck at a time and go deeper. So yeah, that's what we are doing. I hope that you like this type of content and that you stick around. So today we are speaking about this deck. This is a very popular deck on the TarotTube scene. And this is the Witch Sisters Tarot by Julia Jeffrey. This deck is mass market. It's by Llewellyn. You can get it from Amazon, your bookstore, wherever. So this is what the back side of the box looks like. You can pause it so that you can read it. And yeah, let's see. The price in US dollars is $32.99. So yeah, and the copyright is 2023. So yeah, Witch Sisters Tarot. Now, let's start with my personal story with this deck. I saw this deck prior to its release. There was a pre-order on Amazon, and that's how I learned about this project, this deck. And on that pre-order listing on Amazon, there were just a few images available. And to be quite honest, I immediately fell in love with the artwork. It's stunning. Even from the box, you can really see that the artwork is very skillfully made, that the artist is amazing. Julia Jeffrey is amazing as an artist. And I was so eager for the deck to come out. I wanted to see what it was about because also the title was very intriguing to me. So Witch Sister Tarot with this artwork, it looks stunning. It sparked my interest straight away. But I'm not a fan of pre-ordering decks, so I decided to wait. And I waited and I waited, and finally the deck came out and the first flip throughs came onto YouTube, and I got the chance to actually see all of the cards. In my first walkthrough, the first one that I saw on YouTube, I learned that this deck is based on the Irish Celtic mythology. And to be honest, this put me off from purchasing it straight away because my practice has nothing to do with Celtic or Irish mythology, spirituality, witchcraft, none of that stuff. Especially in 2023, I was very deep into my Hindu studies and practices, so I was so far away from Irish and Celtic lore that you can possibly be. So back then I made the decision to not purchase the deck. And so time went on, the deck gained more and more popularity online, but I still wasn't interested in it. And fast forward to this year, 2025, I was already dedicated to Hekate, and I was creating and crafting an altar in her honor. And I don't know why, but something in me kind of screamed Witch Sister Tarot. And at that point, I had already forgotten about this deck. So I jumped online and I watched a walkthrough once again. I saw the beautiful artwork once again. And I kind of knew that I wanted the art, but I didn't want the deck as a tarot deck. So I was going back and forth whether or not to purchase the deck or to purchase art prints from the artist herself. I was very torn apart between those two options because I knew that I wanted to use the artwork for my altar to Hekate because, I don't know, the artwork and the energy of this artist and her paintings align very much with the energy that I experience in my personal spiritual path and from Hekate. So I intuitively wanted this art above my altar. But I wasn't sure how to go about it. I was contemplating because I live in a country where if you order something from Etsy, there are a lot of additional taxes, etc. So all of those factors contributed to my decision to actually purchase the tarot deck and use that for my purposes. So what I did, I got the deck, and when I got it, I went through the guidebook. This is the guidebook. I'll move the box aside. So this is the guidebook, Taking Flight with Your Witch Sisters. And I went through the guidebook and I chose the images that I wanted for my altar. And some of you may squint at this, but I actually cut the art pieces that I wanted. I framed them and I put them above my altar. And so that I don't lose any information, I wrote the information of the cards on pieces of paper. So for example, I use the 9 of Trees as an artwork, but on the back side of each painting, there's the information for the previous card. So basically the 8 of Trees, this is the information for the 8 of Trees. So yeah, that's what I did with the guidebook. I was very satisfied with how things turned out with the artwork above my altar, and I have no regrets about that. So I was very happy with my purchase and with the intention that I had for the purchase itself. I was never going into this as I'm going to be using this as a tarot deck. But once I had the whole thing in my head, once I had the tarot deck in my hands, I decided to give it a try. So I decided to use it as a tarot deck. And I very quickly found out that this particular deck, even though it says it's a tarot, for me it didn't read as a tarot deck, and I couldn't use it as a tarot deck. So this is the deck here in this pouch. And after many months of trial of using it as a tarot deck, finally I gave up and I decided to modify the deck. So basically what I did is I chopped up all of the titles of the cards and I transformed this into a intuitive oracle cards for myself. They're not very even, but it still works. So yeah, I'm sorry I had to pause because I had a phone call. So as I was saying, the Witch Sisters Tarot didn't work out for me as a tarot deck, so I made it into an oracle deck. I modified it. The reason that it didn't work for me as a tarot deck is because the artwork is not very traditional. It says that it follows the Rider-Waite-Smith system, but in my opinion, the artwork, even though it's stunning, it's gorgeous, and I love it, it doesn't portray the meanings of the cards. And yeah, I didn't use it, and I still wanted to get the most out of my purchase, so I made the decision to create an oracle deck, and now I love it. So this is what the backs look like now. The cards are a bit shorter than your regular Llewellyn size because I cut them down. I took from the bottom. I've also edged them in this brownish earthy tone, and it fits with the back. I don't know why we are not focusing, but okay. And basically what I did is I took a Sharpie or a marker. I don't have them near me, but I took a alcoholic marker and I went and wrote keywords on the cards one by one. I didn't use the guidebook for this. I went purely intuitively from what I felt from the image. So now I'm keeping the guidebook simply because I like the artwork, the bigger representations, and I will use the artwork on my altars, in my future altars, if I want to switch something up. So yeah, now let's go through the cards one by one. Let's see if I can zoom in. Okay, and I don't think that I can tell you what card is what in terms of their previous tarot associations, but let's just go with them. I'm going to show you the whole deck, and I'm going to read to you the keywords that I chose. So for this beautiful image, I chose the word prophecy. Then we have identity, spirits, transcendence, sanctuary, journey, fertility, question, release, warrior, purpose. I think that this was the magician card actually. Secrets with the hagstone. Truth. This is one of the images above my altar. Solitude. I think that this was the Hermit's card. Hiding. Authority. Caretaker. But do you see what I mean when I say that the artwork doesn't portray any traditional tarot symbolism? And even though I try to work with it as a tarot deck and study it, it never clicked for me. Shapeshifter. Clarity. And I just want to say that once you buy a deck, it becomes your tool. You are free to do with this item as you please. It's yours. So if a deck doesn't work for you, there's no shame in making it work and making the best out of your monetary investment, because those things are not cheap in this economy. And yeah, I like using my tools, and I love customizing them so that they reflect my spiritual practice and path, my personal practice and path. And I believe that decks should do that. They should work for you. Otherwise, why do you have them? Breaking. This was the Tower. Strength. This image from the cover of the box, it really made me fall in love with the deck. This was the High Priestess, and the keyword that I chose was the liminal. This was the Fool card, and I chose the keyword instincts, elevation, illumination. This was the Sun card, protection, and this was the Nine of Pentacles. Now, how does this say Nine of Pentacles? It doesn't. The artwork doesn't convey the traditional meanings of the cards. So for me personally, it works better as an oracle deck. So protection. This was the Moon card, and I chose the unknown as keyword. Tension, witness, belonging, experience. I love this card. Faith, voice, energy, strategy, consequences, traveler, balance, commitment. This was the Lover's card. Authentic, await, harvest, moving on, wild. I think that this was the Six of Pentacles. This doesn't portray the Six of Pentacles energy by any stretch of the imagination. So I feel that the keyword wild encapsulates the energy better than the Six of Pentacles. Independence, connectedness. This is another of the images above my altar. Soulful, ancestry, support, provide, remains, determination, breakthrough, nature, expand, awareness. Direction, slay. The hero, adaptability, knowledge. Magic. Yes, I spell magic with the K. So, power, life. Because the serpent is a representation of life force for me. Visions, ritual, medicine, culmination. This is another of the artworks above my altar. Building, mortality, nobility. And the other thing that I didn't like is that all of the court cards were depicting human, with the exception of the King of Wands. The King of Wands was this card. Like, I don't like inconsistency, especially in tarot decks. If you're going to make all of the court cards human, make all of them human. If you want the court cards to be represented by specific animals, make all of the court cards represented by specific animals. So, a test, communication, reflection, play, enchantment, diligent, and the last one was confrontation. And yeah, basically this is the modification that I did to the Witch Sisters tarot. Let me zoom out. And yeah, now I'm not dashing the creator by any stretch of the imagination. Like I said, I adore Julia Jeffrey's artwork. I adore it. I love this too. I'm so happy that I bought it, and I'm getting a lot out of my purchase. Like I said, every time when I approach my altar space, when I see her artwork, because I use her artwork as representation of the 4 elements, and every time when I see, I'll just show you what I mean by using it as representation for the elements. Every time when I approach my altar and when I see her art, it puts me into a magical state of mind. It inspires me to engage with my spiritual practice. It awakens something deep inside in me. And I'm so glad that this deck exists. But the truth is, it really doesn't work as a tarot deck for me. This is just my personal experience and my personal opinions. I'm not saying that it is a bad tarot deck. I'm saying that it doesn't work for me as a tarot deck. So I made the decision to create an oracle deck. But when I approach my altar, this is the 4 artworks that I chose from the guidebook to represent the elements for me. This represents the element of water with this water nymph type of creature with the seaweeds. It's a beautiful representation of the water element. This image, I think that this was originally drawn to represent the Morrigan, but this represents the air element terrifically, in my opinion. Then we have the fire element with this artistic interpretation. And when I see this image, it really conveys the emotion that I get when I interact with the fire element. And for the earth element, I chose this beautiful artwork, and all of those 4 artworks really scream the energy of their elemental association for me. And having them all above my altar around my Hekate artwork piece, it screams magic to me. So yeah, that's what I did with the Witch Sister Tarot deck. And how I use it nowadays is as an oracle, as I mentioned, and I use it as to start a reading. So, and I've paired this with another one of my favorite decks. If you are not new to the channel, you know what I'm talking about. This is the Druidcraft Tarot. This is another one of my favorite decks. This is also a trimmed version. And look at those next to each other. They make a perfect pairing, don't they? Like, amazing. And now when I read with those 2 decks combined, the readings are so clear. They're so tapped into the into my path and my spiritual experience. They're a great visual representation of that energy of my magical practice. And they are just aesthetically stunning next to each other. So this is how I made it work for me. Sorry guys, I moved that a little bit. But you can see that the artwork is very complementary to each other. Like here we have the Tension card with the death and the Hangman. Like, come on. And hiding with the Chariot and the Knight of Pentacles. Like, this trait is a calling out as a message. So authority with the 4 of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles. Like, you have the authority to decide how you want to engage with your possessions and your wealth. Are you want to hoard it just for yourself, or are you willing to help your community and other people with the resources that you possess? You have the authority to choose. So yeah, for me it works better as an oracle. And once again, I have no regrets in purchasing the deck. I got so much from this investment, and yeah, it continues to give. So ritual. You can perform a ritual to get out of this 9 of Swords energy, to get away from your anxiety and actually make a plan and move towards something better with the 2 of Wands here. And let's end on the Warrior card with the Page of Wands and the Moon card, because I think that those 3 cards are visually stunning on the table. So that's my review of the Witch Sisters Tarot. and what I did with the deck. So yeah guys, I hope that you liked this video. I hope that this was entertaining and of value. I hope that it encouraged you to use your tools and to not be afraid by modifying them and by making them work for your personal path and experience. Once again, you're watching the Art Occultist with me, Elisa. I'm so happy that you are here. I'm so glad for your support and your presence. And please, on the way out, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any of the future content. And if you want to support me further, I offer a bunch of different services. I offer personal readings, I have membership space, I am a deck creator and a workshop creator. So all of those things are going to be linked in the description box down below if you're interested in any of them. So yeah, I'll be thankful if you decide to check those offerings out. And yeah, once again, thank you so much. I hope that everything's okay with you wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you next time. Take care and have a nice day, night, or whatever. Bye.